Good morning, Bishop Lynch. Today is Wednesday, January 17th, 2018. I'm Max Danielson, and you're watching Across Campus.
Take me all the way home, 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 home. Take me all the way home, home, take me all the way home.
Even though we didn't have school on Monday, Zach and Will took a second to look back in history and recognize the importance of MLK Day and how it affects us today.
This past Monday, we celebrated a national holiday, Martin Luther King Day. But many students don't understand the extent of what Reverend King showed to America. Here's a look into the life and legacy of Martin Luther King.
Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest far right. And so just as I say we aren't going to let any dogs or water hoses turn us around, we aren't going to let any injunction turn us around.
Born in 1929, Dr. Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. grew up in a religious family, later resulting in his ordination as a Baptist minister. Thereafter, in the mid-1950s, King quickly rose to a leading role in the American Civil Rights Movement. Incorporating his religious beliefs with a non-violent approach, Martin Luther King and fellow leaders gained wide support for the movement, resulting in legislative action by the government. After fearlessly leading the civil rights charge for over a decade, Martin Luther was assassinated on April 4th, 1968, leaving a distinguished legacy.
MLK was the kind of person with a good heart who just wanted everyone to be treated fair like he was.
It's amazing that all the things he accomplished, and he only lived to be 39.
He was well educated and pretty well to do, but yet he joined a cause and a movement that would really require a lot of him and ultimately really require that he give up his life.
He could have easily taken the easy way out, but instead he was able to, like the sanitation workers, he was able to fight for those that were the ones that had the biggest struggles.
According to the King Center in Atlanta, only days after King's assassination in 1968, a bill was introduced to Congress for establishing a holiday in honor of Martin Luther's life and teachings. Despite fierce opposition lasting 15 years, President Reagan signed on November 3, 1983, a bill instituting the Martin Luther King Jr. federal holiday on every third Monday in January, with the first national celebration in 1986.
I think when you think about Martin Luther King and what he did in his time as a leader in America, I think the specific lesson is nonviolent protest as a way of making change in our society is very important.
Martin Luther King, he worked for peace, and I feel like that's now what his holiday represents, and that brings us all together.
How do the teachings of MLK relate to our mission statement?
Well, as MLK taught, as in our mission statement, we need to strive for excellence, seek truth, and work for justice in the world.
You know, in terms of striving for excellence, when you look at, his education, when you look at his organizational skills, when you look at seeking truth and working for justice in the world, I mean, that could come right out of a blueprint from MLK.
He is a man that was a man for all ages. It wouldn't matter what time in history he would have lived, he would have made a difference.
I have a dream.
That one day every valley shall be exalted.
Every hill and mountain shall be made low.
The rough places will be made plain.
And the crooked places will be made straight.
And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed.
And all flesh shall see it together.
This is our hope.
The teachings of Martin Luther King continue to be important lessons for which we should strive to emulate in our lives. This has been Zach Salpetal and Will Snyder reporting for Across Campus. This past year included an immense amount of significant events. Frida and Megan decided to recount the highs and lows of 2017.
Like, hello, this is Frida. This is Megan.
So listen up to what we're saying.
Good morning, Bishop Lynch. Today is Wednesday, January 17th,
2018.
I'm Frida Torres.
And I'm Megan Mathena.
And you're watching
A Minute with Frida and Megan.
So this time, we're going to do a huge recap of all the main 2017 news, the mouth gasping, mouth dropping moments. It's going to be pretty, it's a good recap, yeah.
And as you can tell, we're wearing our blankets because today was actually supposed to be an E-Day.
Yep.
But don't worry, guys. We were explained that by Dr. Riley that there's an 8-person committee and they
decide this. And we'll show a clip of that. We got to get to the scroll.
Do you know who decided?
Yeah.
Was it you, Mr. Dr. Riley?
No, it's a committee of people that make the decision.
But who do you think was the number one person?
Well, it's a committee that makes a recommendation. It's a committee.
Who's in this committee?
Yeah.
It's a committee of about 8 people.
Okay. I know, Mr. Becker.
We want names.
We need names.
We're journalists. It's our job.
Families also, they need to make a decision about the safety of their kids driving. Families always have that right to say, no, it's not safe for my child to drive.
But then we get an absence now, don't we?
Yes, that would be true, but safety is very important to me. And then I make a decision on whether to approve or deny the recommendation. We're going to keep it positive, right?
Yeah.
This is all positive.
Keep it factual.
Okay, so are you ready, Megan?
I'm ready.
Okay, I guess we're ready. All right, so this whole past year, a new device came into play, and it was a total rage. I'm talking fidget spinner, like, it was all over social media. People were doing tricks all, like, look at me, I can do it on my tongue, nose, I don't know. But, yeah.
The Patriots won the Super Bowl this January by a 25-point comeback. And on January 20th, Donald Trump was inaugurated as the 45th president.
Yep. All right. And in April, an identified man was dragged off of United Airlines after they did a double book problem, and the video is just really terrible. It shows how they treat their customers, and just another mistake of some airline doing some messed up thing.
On May 20th, for the first time in 38 years, there was a total solar eclipse, and many people did not wear the proper eyeglasses.
For instance, example. Haha.
And his eyes are probably ruined forever.
Dilated, or not dilated,
Donald Trump also made a travel ban on the countries of Chad, Iran, Libya, North Korea, Somalia, Syria, Yemen, and some Venezuelan officials. On August 12th, there was a white supremacist rally, resulting in 19 people being injured and 3 being killed because the city of Charlottesville was ordered to take down statues of Confederate soldiers.
In August, Amazon officially bought Whole Foods for a whopping $13.7 billion and completely just lowered all of the store's prices.
There were 3 major hurricanes this hurricane season, and those were Harvey, Maria, and Irma. The areas affected were Florida, Texas, and most of the Caribbean, including Puerto Rico, which still does not have power. Also, there was an earthquake in Mexico City, and it was a 7.1 on the Richter scale.
Bitcoin was first created by Satoshi Nakamoto, but this past October it became very known because of its just roller coaster going up and down, and people think, is this going to make or break our economy? What do you think?
On October 1st, a man shot at a country music concert in Las Vegas, killing at least 59 and injuring more than 525.
Let's not forget about NFL's national anthem 15-week protest when people were kneeling or standing during the national anthem. So, where do you stand?
On November 5th, a man stormed a Baptist church in Sutherland Springs, Texas, and he killed 26 people. And after the shooter left the church, a local resident actually got in his car and chased the shooter.
And in November, NBC fired the well-known Matt Lauer, the American journalist, for having several accusations of sexual misconduct. And in December, net neutrality, which preserves our right to freely go through the internet, was almost taken away thanks to Ajit Pai. And he proposed a plan to make us pay for our common apps such as Twitter and Instagram
and Netflix.
And even though we're always questioning how is Twitter still free, we still deserve our rights. So thankfully it got repealed though.
But some good memes came out of 2017.
Mm-hmm.
And
bam, 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 memes. But yeah, so that's our huge recap of 2017.
So we hope you enjoyed it.
And we hope that you start this new year off with some resolutions, and if you don't accomplish them, you know what, it's fine, it's just like every other year. So, but really push yourself this last semester, seniors especially, senioritis, I know how you feel, but we gotta do it, we got to. Anyways, so yeah, thank you for watching. This was Frida Torres.
And this is Megan Mathena.
And this is A Minute with
Frida and Megan. You did it wrong this time.
Frida and Megan. Sorry.
Frida and Megan.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this week's edition of Across Campus. We'll see you next week where the news is, right where you are, across campus.